Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Ascension Stone Night. I have been so excited about this night and to talk about all this. So I'm just gonna give everybody a couple minutes to get online, and then we're gonna get started. Okay. I know we have a couple minutes, but I wanted everybody to get a chance to hop on real quick. Okay, so I wanted to show you also something really cool that I like to do, and I think you guys might like it too. I have tons and tons of tumbled stones. Okay, so I'm like, what am I going to do with all these tumbled stones that I have? So, if you're anything like me, I love chocolate, and one of my favorite things to eat is Ferrero Rochers, and I'll show you guys this. So, this is a tray of Ferrero Rochers that I keep my crystals in. It's absolutely amazing. It fits so many in there. I have two. So just a little tip if you guys don't know what to do with your stones. It's great because there's a cover on it. They're easy if you have to, travel somewhere and bring them with you. So I just wanted to throw that out there if you guys, needed somewhere to put your stones. I know I have some of them in a bowl, but if these are ones that I use all the time or that I want to bring with me, and oh, sorry about that, my alarm just went off. So I just wanted to show that to you guys, and I also wanted to let you know, so because tonight we're going to be talking about some really, really high vibe stones, I think that it's good, if you guys are gonna follow along, I think it's good to have a pen and paper in case there are things that you want to write down. So sorry, I just want to adjust that a little bit. But if you have any high vibe stones that maybe you think I'm going to be talking about tonight, just make sure that you have something grounding also with you. I have with me a big piece of black tourmaline, just because there's so much energy going on. And I also have this indigo gabbro sphere here. So if you see me kind of playing with this in between talking about each stone, that's kind of what I'm doing. It's kind of if you cleanse your palate in between, foods, that's kind of what I'm doing, just to make sure that I stay grounded, because there's so much energy going on tonight. So we'll see, maybe we'll give everybody one more minute. Okay. Yes, you have to eat the chocolate though. I know, and I love eating the chocolate, so. But I told that to somebody else. I think I saw that somebody else was doing that too. But it's just an easy way to keep your crystals. They're all, in their own little individual crystal nests in there. So, all right. So, okay. So we're going to get started now. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about Ascension Stones. And so what does that mean? Ascension Stones are crystals that have a very, very high vibration, that are going to bring your energy to a level where you can develop a higher consciousness. So what we call this 5D consciousness. And what 5D consciousness is living from a place of love and understanding and non-judgment, and being able to get yourself to a point where you can just automatically feel those feelings of non-judgment and understanding for other people, and that understanding that everybody is on their own journey and not everybody is ascending into that higher consciousness yet, and that's okay. But that's kind of what the whole idea of 5D means. So if you hear me saying that, that's what that means. And I can, I'll probably repeat that a little bit throughout, for anybody else that jumps on. So that's the whole idea, that these stones have such a high vibration that they're able to, help you with that process, help you with that ascension process and that 5D process, of getting to know your higher self and your soul a little bit more. Okay? So the first crystal that we're going to talk about is Herkimer diamonds. Okay? And please, I have my stuff is all over the place, so if you see me turning around, I'm just trying to get some of my things. So Herkimer diamonds are the first one that we're going to talk about. Now, all of these crystals are good for your crown chakra and above. Some of them also are related to some other chakras, and I'll mention that as we go along. So Herkimer diamonds are also good for the crown and for the third eye, okay? And I'll show you this one right here. This is a big one that I have here. So Herkimer diamonds are not actual diamonds. They are double terminated quartz. That's what they are. But because of their shape and their clarity, they resemble diamonds. So that's where they get their name from. But this stone is actually really good for relaxation, for staying in the moment. So anybody that is practicing mindfulness techniques, I highly recommend this stone. Herkimer diamonds bring balance to everything around them. So, you know, people, places, things, you know, it's just all about balance with the Herkimer diamond. They're great for detoxifying the body, and if you're around any, you know, radiation, pollution, things like that, these are great for that as well. So once again, just staying relaxed. And the other great thing about this, and this is where I think the biggest piece of coming into 5D is that Herkimer diamonds are great for transforming the way that you view the world. So when you're working towards living a more 5D life, that's really what you're doing. You're changing your perception of things and choosing love instead of anger or frustration or judgment, things like that. So this crystal, and I'll show you, I have a couple others here. This crystal is great for that, for transforming the way that you're viewing situations. This is kind of a smaller one. This one is like crystal clear. Okay. And this is a Herkimer diamond, but this is like a golden, more citrine Herky, and these are great for turning a poverty consciousness mind into a prosperity consciousness. So specifically, and these are more rare, specifically these crystals are good for, you know, manifesting that abundance that you want to find in your life. So I'll tell you really quickly, because I know we have a lot of stones to go through, and I know I didn't mention this in the beginning, but in lieu of the 1111 portal, I will be talking about 11 crystals tonight, okay? So I'll give you a really quick little awesome story about these. These crystals, myself, my boyfriend, and our friend Craig, we actually mined these crystals ourselves. We go up to New York twice a year, once in April when the mine opens, and once in October when it closes. And we mine for Herkimer diamonds, and it's an amazing, amazing experience. I have some videos about it on my but that's okay. They still all have the same kind of energy. I know this one, we were calling this one the apple. I know it's completely massive. She is just such a beauty. It took us 2.5 hours to get this crystal out of the pocket. It was amazing experience. And the three of us together, I mean, we just worked and worked and worked, and this was what we got. I mean, she's huge. Absolutely huge. But her energy is just so amazing. They all are. It doesn't matter what size they are. But that was just a cool thing that I wanted to share with you guys there. But if you're ever in New York, up near Herkimer, New York, I highly recommend going to the mine. It's fabulous. And you don't have to do like really hard rock. Well, it's all hard rock mining, but we bring a lot of heavy tools. Where do you mine them? It's Herkimer, New York. That's where we mine them. So I live right outside of Philadelphia, and it takes us about 4.5 hours to get there. So, but yeah, it's just like we bring like huge sledgehammers and everything like that, but you don't have to bring those things. To find this one, we did. But check out my other videos on my YouTube page, The Spiritual Safe House, and you'll see some other stuff that we did there too. But it's just amazing, amazing. I don't know if you guys can see the rainbows in there. It's kind of hard with this light, but yeah. So, all right. So that's Herkimer diamonds. Let's see. Put this one right over here. All right. So our second crystal that we're going to talk about is petalite. I have two different pieces of petalite here to talk about. Now, petalite is good for the crown chakra and for the third eye chakra, okay? So once again, all of these crystals are going to be good for the crown, but some of the other ones are good for other chakras as well. So petalite is mostly found in Brazil and in Madagascar, okay? So this is a small piece that I have, okay? It kind of does look like quartz. At least to me, the vibrational frequency feels a lot different. So petalite helps people to understand the emotional reasons behind physical diseases that we have, especially with cancer and AIDS. Okay, so that's what petalite helps with. And it also helps with problems with the eyes, the lungs, muscle issues, and with your intestines. Okay, but the big thing with petalite is that it helps with emotional problems, understanding the emotional reasons behind physical things that are happening in your body. And I highly recommend Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. She talks a lot about affirmations and understanding the emotional stuff behind physical dis-ease that's happening in our body. Okay, so this is kind of a bigger piece of petalite here. Okay. Now, the thing about petalite is that, for the more spiritual aspect, is that it helps you to... thank you very much, because I wanted to spell these things for everybody. I have things written down here. So petalite is Petalite. That's petalite. Petalite. Thank you very much for that reminder. Okay. And the spiritual aspect of petalite is that it helps with your soul connecting to the higher realities. Okay, so petalite is great for meditation because it will help you to connect with your angels, with your higher power, your spirit guides, your totem animals, things like that. So it's going to help you connect with entities on the other side. That's what petalite is so great for. Now, I'm not sure if this one is kind of better to see, but the first quite few that I'm going to talk about, they're clearer stones, so a lot of them can resemble quartz, but petalite it's kind of more layered. I don't know if you guys can really see that on here, but it's more layered than quartz is. But the main thing about petalite and being able to ascend into that 5D living, and once again, that just means, coming from a place of love and non-judgment and understanding for yourself and others, is that this stone is going to connect your soul to higher entities. When I keep it like that, if you guys can see, like right in there, it's kind of layered in there. So, okay, so that's the big thing about petalite. All right, and once again, just finding out, the emotional reasons behind the physical things that are happening in your body. And I know a lot of times people don't like to hear this, but whatever physically is going on with you, you are manifesting that because of certain emotions that you're having. And I know that that's hard to hear, and people, don't want to think that, but really check out Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. It explains a lot of stuff. Okay, so that's petalite. The third one we're going to be talking about is danburite. Okay, so I have two smaller pieces of danburite. Danburite is great for the crown chakra and the heart chakra. Okay, and it's found in the U.S. and it's also found in Mexico. So let me see. Okay, so this is danburite, and I have 2 pieces of this here. And I actually got these pieces from Megan. You can find her on Facebook on Peace on Earth Rocks. She sells crystals. She's a very, very good friend of mine. And these I got from her. I got quite a few things from her. But one thing about physically about danburite is that it helps with the liver and the gallbladder. So it helps a lot with detox of your body. So if that's something that that you're trying to work on, danburite is great for that. It's also good for allergies, circulation, weight gain if that's something that you're struggling with, and also muscle stiffness. So you can place danburite, on any part of your body maybe that you're feeling stiffness, and see if that helps with you. A lot of times I like to do that. So the spiritual aspect of danburite, so because it is connected to the heart chakra as well, you can focus a lot on love and forgiveness. That's a big piece. Forgiveness and inner peace, and also connecting with your archangels. Okay, so danburite helps with lifting your spirit to kind of understand and have more insight about what's happening with your soul and on the other side. So using danburite if you are terminally ill or feeling a lot of depression, that will help to lift your spirits, to have more insight into what's going on with you spiritually. So structurally, danburite is more of like a tabby shape. So it's more like a flat shape. See, like that? Okay. And I don't know if you guys can see how like the top is like that. So danburite is more of like a tabby shape. Okay. This is kind of a smaller one. It's kind of harder to see on this one, so I was holding up the other one. But okay, so danburite is all about, love, forgiveness, inner peace, raising your insight about what's going on with you. So that's why it would be good, for this ascension, and, just bringing love into your life and understanding what's going on. Okay, so that's danburite, number 3. So number 4 is Lemurian seed quartz. Okay, now this crystal is very, very special to me. This is actually the first crystal that I ever bought. So Lemurian seed quartz is quartz, obviously, but to identify it as Lemurian, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see this on here. I don't have my other piece up here. But the Lemurian has horizontal striations against the side, and you can actually feel them. We'll see if you guys can see right down there. Can you guys see that? There's striations right there. That will identify it as Lemurian. Okay, so this quartz, this crystal, because it's quartz, will work with all the chakras. This is found mostly in Brazil, and the whole idea about Lemurian quartz is that there's a connection with the Lemurian people, and that these crystals hold special messages from that time that were meant to be found during the New Age time, which is now. So by meditating with these crystals, try to capture that side there for you guys. So, excuse me, by meditating with these crystals, it said that, that you might be able to find answers to, be given these messages that these crystals hold. Okay. Now, these work on a very multi-dimensional level. Okay. And they help to remove blocks that you have in your physical self, and balance the energies that are coming from the cosmos into the physical plane. Okay, so that's another thing that they're good for. So, excuse me. So while meditating on this, on these crystals, it will help you to balance the energy that's coming from the cosmos into your physical plane. Okay. Does anybody have any questions yet? I just love this little one. Now, this crystal, these are very, very high energy. I mean, obviously they all are. One time I fell asleep with this crystal in my hand, and when I woke up, my hand was like it actually hurt, just because it was just so much energy in one spot for so long. So just be mindful of those things. Okay. All right. So the next one that we're going to talk about is azeztulite, and I will spell that. Okay, and I have stuff. Yes. I did start with a Lemurian. Yes, that was absolutely the first crystal that I ever bought. And I guess, like, when I first bought it, I didn't realize, I didn't realize the strength that it could have, because all I saw was quartz. And not saying that quartz doesn't have strength, but yes, I didn't realize the impact that it could have had. But yeah, that was absolutely my first crystal that I ever started with. Okay, so next, number 5 is azeztulite. It's azeztulite. Azeztulite. So this is a smaller piece, and this one works with all of the chakras as well. It's found in the U.S. And azeztulite has kind of like a rougher texture to it. It's not as smooth as the others. And this crystal is great with restoring your will to want to live and to want to, better yourself. So it's suggested that this stone is great for people who have terminal illness, and especially with cancer. That this one is great for. And azeztulite is also great for visualization and premonition. So if you are someone who has a lot of premonitions and you're wanting to increase that psychic ability, I would definitely recommend azeztulite, because it will help you with that. Another very special thing about this crystal is that it works on not only a cosmic level, but it works on a cellular level. So, it kind of balances the two out together. And this stone, because it's so multidimensional, working very much with the cosmos and very much with, on a cellular level, like I said, if you start working with this, I would go just a couple minutes. Like if you're going to meditate with it, I would just go for a couple minutes at first, because sometimes people can feel some physical effects from this, like, like dizziness or feeling really emotional, having some emotional outbursts kind of afterwards. So just be aware that those things could happen, because this is such high vibe. For me, when I use this crystal, my hands get just like really sweaty. Like even now, they're just like so sweaty. And maybe it's because I'm just using so many of these at one time. But so just to be mindful of that. And they all have kind of their own feel to them. And sometimes crystals that I might find very, very high vibe and have a really high reaction to, you might not. Because I know for me also, like danbarite, I have a really high reaction to that. My boyfriend, not so much. And I always find that amazing, because I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? My hand's shaking, I have a really reaction to it. But he doesn't so much. And even with the petalite for me, petalite to me is very, very jumpy. So if you're feeling like that, just know that that's the vibration of the crystal, and maybe just ease your way into it. But yeah, so just to keep that in mind, if you're having any physical symptoms from doing this, that's okay. All right. So next is apophyllite, and it's APOPHYLLITE, apophyllite. Okay, so apophyllite is for a few different chakras. So you can use apophyllite for your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, and your heart chakra. Okay. This is like a flatter piece. A lot of times you're going to see apophyllite in a pyramid shape. This one is a little flatter piece that I have. Okay, this is also great for work with the pineal gland. If anybody, I know a lot of people are working on that in your third eye. It's more like third eye and chakra. Third eye and crown chakra. If you're working on your pineal gland. But apophyllite is great for the respiratory system and rejuvenating your body. Also good for your eyes and your skin. So this one I recommend, like especially people who have just quit smoking. This would be really good because it helps to rejuvenate your body, especially your respiratory system. So if you just quit smoking and you're trying to get your health back together, or whatever, I do recommend apophyllite. So spiritually, apophyllite is great for self-attunement, and increasing your psychic abilities, also astral travel. So once again, meditating with this crystal, if that's something that you're interested in with astral travel, I would highly recommend that. Something else very interesting about this stone is that it helps, like if you're having difficulty looking inward at your own behavior and the motivation behind your behavior, apophyllite will help to assist you in bringing that situation or issue to the surface, but in a very gentle way. So I think that's good to, like, specific to Ascension, that if you're not understanding your behavior and why you're doing certain things, maybe why you're having difficulty, staying in that 4D space, or even 5D where you're, kind of stuck in 3D, which is a lot of negativity, that this stone will help to bring you to a space where you can gently understand your behavior. And that's the key word here, that it's not, even though this is a high vibration stone, it will help you to bring those circumstances to the surface in a very gentle way. Okay, so one important thing about apophyllite, and I'll show you with this Lemurian. So, like I said, a lot of these stones look very similar to quartz, especially if you're not sure, and this is just if you're just starting out. So, if you guys can see, so this is the Lemurian quartz. Comes to a point at the top. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to show you guys this. But apophyllite, if I hold it like that, you guys can see. So apophyllite is a square on the top. Okay, so even if you have apophyllite as a pyramid, you'll notice that on the top, it looks like the tip of the crystal was cut off, but it wasn't. That's just how it is. So that's one way that you can tell if you're seeing like little pyramids of quartz, or you're wondering if it's apophyllite. Apophyllite, the top will look like it's cut off. So apophyllite is a square right on top. Okay, as opposed to quartz that actually comes to a point. Okay, so that's one thing to look for in the differences between the two, to kind of know what you're looking at. Okay, all right, so that's apophyllite. Number 7 is selenite. Okay, now I have tons and tons of selenite. Selenite is one of my favorite crystals. Okay, so show you guys some bigger pieces here that I have. Okay, selenite, once again, is great for the crown chakra. Okay, it's mostly found in Mexico, Morocco, Canada. Those areas are mostly where selenite is found. Okay, so this is a larger piece of selenite. I have 2 of them here. Now, selenite is self-cleansing, and you can cleanse your crystals on the selenite. That's why I like these larger pieces like this, because I place my crystals on top of them so they can be cleansed like that. So having like 1 or 2, like a few pieces of these is great, because it's an easy way to cleanse your crystals. Now, selenite, remember, don't ever put this in water because it will disintegrate. Okay, it's very soft crystal. Like I can even see it. It's like you know, powdery on my fingers as I hold it here. Okay, but physically, selenite is great for helping people that have epilepsy. So, and now, just for the record, I'm not telling anybody, you know, all of this physical stuff that I'm talking about. I'm not telling anybody to stop doing, you know, what their doctor says or stop taking their medications or anything like that. This is just, you know, crystals are a tool in your spiritual toolbox. Okay, but selenite can also be helpful with skin conditions, also people that are going through puberty or menopause, things like that. It's great for. Now, this piece of selenite, this is actually a wand. So this one is more like a tumbled feel, but it is a wand. Okay, so this one's not like powdery coming off on me like the others were. But selenite is great also to clear your aura, and that's what I use this wand for. So to clear your aura, you just literally, you know, just around your body. So I do that when I'm feeling like a mucky energy, or I've been around a lot of negativity, or if I'm just not feeling great, you know, that's what I love to use this for. Okay, now selenite spiritually brings divine light to everything around it. And I mean, just, it's beautiful. It's such a calm and beautiful energy. And it just brings you to that place of higher consciousness, and allows light to come into dark places of your life. So it's just, it's so nice, selenite. Great for inner healing, and just knowing that divine light is coming into your life right when you need it, right in your darkest times. I'll show you this one as well. This is a selenite egg that I have. And this one is great because it's a great palm stone to sit and meditate with. I also carry this one around with me sometimes when I, actually frequently, but this one is great. Yes. So selenite, you don't have to charge selenite, okay? Now, for me, like now, all these crystals I'm showing you, I charged all of these in the supermoon last night. And even though you don't really need to charge selenite because it's self-cleansing, sometimes I just like to put it out, especially crystals that I've been using all the time. I put them out under the full moon. But yes, so I'll show you this again. So you can literally just put your crystals, I just put them on top of here just like this, you know, set them on there overnight, and that will cleanse and charge your crystals. Yep. Hi, Dana. Okay, so it's great to have at least one piece of this. I think it's very valuable. So this will cleanse any of your crystals. You don't really need to cleanse this or charge this. So that's what makes selenite so great. Yep, absolutely. So, okay, but like I said, last night it was the super moon, and everything that I was going to be using tonight I put out to cleanse the energy. So, any questions so far? I know we kind of went through a lot. Any questions? No. Like I said, there's going to be 11 crystals that we're talking about tonight in lieu of the 1111 portal. Okay, so we're on number 8 right now, and let me see, right over here. Okay, so number 8, this for me is probably the highest vibe crystal that I'm going to talk about tonight. Now, some people say that there are other crystals that are more high vibe, but for me, this one blows them all out of the park, and it's moldavite. So it's MOLDAVITE, moldavite. Okay, so I have a little piece right here. You can see now this is green, if you guys can see that. This crystal is good for the crown chakra. It's also good for the heart chakra because it's green. These are found in the Czech Republic. Okay. And I can already feel this. Like my hands are so sweaty. That's why I keep using these grounding stones. It's so much energy. Okay, so Moldavite is really interesting. And it's such a beautiful story. So Moldavite is said to be 15 million years old. And yes, the second way you spelled it. Yep. Moldavite. Yep, that's right. So Moldavite came about when there were meteors that hit the earth, and the result of the melted meteorite and the melted earth, when it combined together, that's Moldavite. So Moldavite is really special because it's literally a piece of space and a piece of earth. It's very, very special. So now I heard that there wasn't as much of this around because there was like only so much of it. So I feel really blessed to be able to have a piece of this. I don't know how true that actually is, but this stone for some reason is just, it's so high vibe. Your Moldavite is on the way. Well, I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's amazing. And so Moldavite helps to bring balance to the entire physical body. So it can really be used for anything. It really is just a balancing stone. And because this stone is part from space, part from the cosmos, and part from Earth, it really does help with connection to the ascended masters and connection to the planets and the stars and the cosmos as a whole. It really helps with that. Now, personally, if you're just getting started with high vibe crystals, I wouldn't recommend starting with Moldavite. But like I said, some people aren't as sensitive to it. You know, and maybe you're not. But with all of these crystals, you really want to ease your way into it. And honestly, if you know, from my experience, I would start with either a Herkimer diamond or a Lemurian quartz, just because it is quartz, which can be a more gentler energy, just so you kind of get the feel of things. But yeah, Moldavite, amazing. Amazing. So has anybody else, like, have you worked with these crystals, or like which ones have you thought were like really high vibe for you? Sorry, that's like blurry when I get really close. But yeah, so, I've always just found Moldavite to be really special, because it's like literally, this has been in space, you know? It's just so cool. I think it's so neat. But yeah, I can feel the energy so much. But yeah, Moldavite, fabulous. You can work with the heart chakra too. So, you know, again, with that love piece and working on that, it's a great stone for that as well. Okay, so that was number 8. Number 9 we're going to go to is selenite. Okay, so I have 2 different pieces that I want to show you here. Okay, so this is a tumbled piece of selenite. What's the color of the Moldavite? The color of the mold, it's actually green. I know it's kind of hard to see, but when you hold it up to the light, you can really see it. Yeah, the Moldavite is green. Okay. All right, so selenite, this is a tumbled piece. And you don't really see a lot of tumbled selenite. Personally, for me, I like to have tumbled stones, like a lot of them, because they're so much easier to carry around with me. I know some people are just more into like the raw crystals, or the bigger cluster pieces. Oh, I'm sorry, celestite. I apologize. Yep, green moldavite. Thank you, Brad. I said selenite. I'm sorry. Celestite. Thank you for correcting me. Celestite. Okay. And like I said, I like to have tumbled stones with me because they're easier to carry around. I don't have to worry about them breaking or anything like that. But celestite is, obviously it's blue, so it's good also for the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra. Good for communication. But celestite is also good for the third eye and the crown chakra. Okay, it's mostly found in Madagascar. And I'll show you this other. So this might be the way that you see it mostly, like on a matrix like this. Okay. Now physically, celestite is good for hearing, for your eyes. It's also good for physical pain and for any mental health. So it's kind of good for a lot of things here. And the same as the zesgolite, celestite works at the cellular level. Okay, so this crystal will help to dissolve any negativity that you're having in your body and to help balance things out and bring positivity to any disease that you're having. Okay. And this one is just so sparkly. It really, the camera doesn't do it justice at all. Okay, so the big thing about celestite is that it helps you to really connect with your spirit guides and the angels and other dimensions. That's the big thing about this crystal. So when you feel like you really need that sense of peace and harmony, it helps with clearing any confusion that you have about things. So when you're wanting to connect with the other side and just find answers to things and find a sense of calm in your life, this crystal is really, really good for that. And just bringing, once again, just bringing light to the darkness. I'll show you this tumbled one again. So this is celestite. Okay. So yeah, the main thing about this is, and I've meditated with this crystal a lot, and it's just it is such a calming energy for being such a a high vibe ascension stone. It really does bring a sense of peace over your body, and just like kind of like angelite, just very, very connected with the angels and your spirit guides and the other side. Okay, so that's celestite. Let's see here. Okay, just gonna, once again, this is my giant black tourmaline that I have here just for grounding. I'm just feeling so much energy here in my indigo gabbro here, my little sphere here. Okay, all right, so the next crystal we're going to talk about is kyanite. Okay, so I have a beautiful little piece here, and this is another piece that I got from Megan, Peace on Earth Rocks. Check her out on Facebook. She's got a little bit of everything. So if you are looking for any of these crystals or other crystals, I would highly recommend her. This is a piece that I got from her. Oh, the video is freezing on you? Is anybody else having trouble with the video? Just so I can make sure, so maybe I can move my connection a little bit. Let me know if anybody else is having trouble seeing this. Okay? All right, so this is kyanite. Kyanite comes in a bunch of different colors. For me, blue kyanite is absolutely my favorite. Okay? So kyanite, once again, just like the celestite, much better on the phone. Okay. Just like the celestite, blue kyanite is great for the throat chakra. Okay? But blue kyanite is also great for just clearing all of your chakras. So sometimes if you go to a spiritual healer, you'll see them using blue kyanite for that, and that's why, because it helps to, identify any blocks that you're having in your chakras and then just clearing them out. Okay, kyanite is mostly found in Brazil. It's helpful physically with the nervous system. Also with any muscle problems that you're having, and because it's associated with the throat chakra, it's great to help with your glands and any throat problems that you would be having. So this is great for communication too. Okay, so kyanite helps with, just balancing and being calm and tranquil in your life. Just like the celestite, it's just a very calming energy. Maybe something with these blue crystals. It's also great for dream recall, if that's something that you're interested in. And I'll show you this other piece that I have here. Okay, this also helps with increasing your psychic abilities. So if that's something that you're working on, I would highly recommend either carrying a piece of kyanite with you or wearing it. This is actually a piece of kyanite that I wire wrapped, and I love, love, love wearing this. And as soon as I wear this, now when I wear it, it's kind of like in between my heart chakra and my throat chakra, but I really do feel like I can feel the balance when I wear this. It's unbelievable. So that the other piece, this piece is kind of like a raw and tumbled, like it's a little bit tumbled, but this is actually a raw piece. Okay, so this also is great just for connecting with your spirit guides and, that higher dimension, that higher power. And like I said before, it really does help to remove the energy blocks. Like sometimes if you have kyanite as a pendulum, or even if you have it like this and you can use it as one, you can feel the energy, like where it's spinning in your chakras. Sorry, just moving this down. And which ones are open and which ones aren't so much. So kyanite's great for clearing any blocks that you're having with your chakras and just balancing everything up. There we go. Okay. Yes, high heart chakra. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I was kind of going to go into like the other chakras, but I figured that was like too much. Maybe that can be another video. But yes, Brad, you're absolutely right. Okay, so that was number 10. So now moving on to number 11. Now, this crystal, I don't know. Like, I feel like some people wouldn't identify this right away as an Ascension Stone, but I'll tell you why I feel that it's so important in the ascension process and getting to know yourself and moving to that higher level. So number 11 is shungite. Okay, so this is more of a root chakra stone that if you would have, first thing that you would think of when you thought of this stone. And I feel that this is mostly found in northern Russia. Okay. And now this is very interesting because this stone contains most of the elements on the periodic table, which I think is absolutely amazing. And this stone is said to be at least 2 billion years old. 2 billion. It's absolutely amazing to me. And so the one thing about shungite that you might have heard before is that it's great for balancing water molecules. So sometimes people will use shungite. Sorry, just moving some of this around. Sometimes people will use shungite in elixirs and, drink the water afterwards. One thing to remember about elixirs, though, is that I would not recommend using raw stones in elixirs at any time, because you really have to make sure that the stones are clean. And when you use raw crystals, you might not realize that there is like a lot of cracks and crevices that bacteria could be in. So if you are going to use elixirs, please make sure that you're using tumbled stones, and also please make sure that you're looking up to make sure that the stones aren't toxic. Shungite is one that you can use, and once again, like this tumbled piece would be perfect to use. Okay, so what it does is it balances the water molecules and brings them to perfect harmony. It's really an incredible stone. And when is it different from leech? I don't know. I've actually never heard of that. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. That's a very good question. If anybody else knows the answer to that, you could enlighten me too. I don't know. But with the water molecules and balancing that, if you just think how much of your body is water. So when you're using this and it's just balancing everything in your body, and it's just so beautiful. And another thing that this stone is really good for is blocking any negative waves that are coming from technology. I know I like to keep either shungite, well mostly I keep black tourmaline, but shungite will work just as well around my computer, in your phone, your TV, things like that, that you could just be getting this negative energy from. But that's really good for that as well. Same stone. Thank you very much, Megan. Okay, I knew somebody would know. Okay, see, we're all in this and learning experience together. Okay, so like I said, shungite is also really good for not only like balancing these negative waves that are coming at you, but it will absorb any pollutants that are running through your body from the physical environment. So it's just a really great cleansing stone. Okay, now because shungite will absorb all of that energy and all of those pollutants, it really is good to cleanse this crystal. You know, like, I would say if you're using this crystal all the time, I would cleanse it at least once a week. And like I said, you know, you can take your selenite, right like here, whoop, right on there. Overnight, you're good to go. Okay? And that's usually what I do. I usually put them on there overnight, so, you know, 8 hours, a little bit more probably. Sometimes put them before you go to bed, and you should be good. You should be good with that. So shungite is great for balancing, you know, like I said, harmony in the body, harmony in everything that's going on, and just leading you to higher vibrations. Okay, so like I said, like this crystal, I feel isn't one that people would say, oh, that's so high vibe, and I would, you know that as an ascension stone right away. But I feel like because this crystal is so great in balancing, balancing water and everything like that, that if you use this in your daily life, especially in those elixirs, if you use this, that will be balancing your body, and it'll be balancing your spirit as well. So there we go. All right. So that is all 11 crystals that I have for you guys. So I wanted to give some time for some questions. If anybody had any other questions or comments about anything. I know a couple people jumped on a little bit late, but if I can kind of run through, maybe I'll kind of talk about my favorite one again, just for people that kind of came on at the end, and tell my little story again. So this right here, this was the first crystal that we talked about. This is a Herkimer diamond. Okay. And this crystal, I actually, myself, my boyfriend, and our friend, we actually just mined this crystal in October. Okay. Is the energy in the Herkimer crazy? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, when I hold this crystal for a long time, not even for a really long time, when I hold this, even after a couple of minutes, it starts like throbbing in my hand. That's what I feel like. I feel this throbbing in my hand. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. She's so beautiful. Like Herkimer, New York. Black tourmaline. Do you wear black tourmaline boots in the open? Wait a minute, let me read that again. Like wearing black tourmaline boots. That's what I feel like. I'm telling you, that's what I feel like. The energy is so amazing, and I'll show you guys just one more time these other ones. So this is another Herky that I showed earlier. Okay, and this one, like I said, is like that golden healer, almost like citrine herky. And this is just really good, like I said again, for turning a poverty conscious mind into prosperity consciousness. You know, absolutely amazing. So, did you guys have any other questions? Want me to review any other crystals? That one is awesome. I know, it's so awesome. Yeah, it literally took us 2.5 hours to get that crystal out. The mine closes at 5 o'clock, and we pulled her out at 4:30. It was amazing. So, like I said, that's Herkimer, New York, and I would highly, highly recommend, if you ever get the chance to go up there, to do so, because it's an amazing, amazing experience. So, all right, guys. Well, we have a couple minutes left. I can take any questions if you want. If you let me guys know, what you learned, or maybe tell me what crystals you want to, try to use after this experience. Oh yeah. Oh, so you have a lot of them, Brad. Absolutely. Which one have you had the most success with? I'll ask you that. And like I said, for me, Moldavite has, and I'll show you guys this one again. Moldavite, for me, out of all of them, is definitely the highest vibe. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And listen, I've been working with crystals for a long time, and I can only tolerate to work with this one for a couple minutes, not very long, not even a half an hour, because it's so much, it's so much. I'm so hot from, it's just from being around all this energy. Azezolite and Dambarite. Yeah, and like I said, I have a really, really strong connection with Dambarite, and my boyfriend does not, like I made him close his eyes one time, and I put it in his hand, and I was like, oh my god, you have to feel this crystal, and he was like, I don't really feel anything. So, it really all depends. It all depends. So whatever, you're gonna have a connection to somebody else might not. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. So when we're all done, I'll put a list of all the crystals up. Absolutely. Yeah, I can absolutely do that for you. Not a problem. Okay. So any other questions? So like I said, kind of in the beginning, like these Ascension Stones are really just bringing you to a higher vibration, and allowing you to live a fuller life in 4 and 5D consciousness, and that's really the whole point of all of this. So with my my spiritual development program, I was actually thinking about having, so each week we work on something different, and so for each week I was thinking about bringing in, another crystal to demonstrate for that week, and I think kind of that would be a good idea if you're interested in that. But if spiritual development is something that you are interested in and you would like to check out my program, you can check it out at thespiritualsafehouse.com. I'm on YouTube at The Spiritual Safe House, Instagram, and obviously Facebook. You're here, so if you give me a like, you can follow me and, see what we talk about, all things spiritual. So, all right. Yes, I will alphabetize that list just for Mike. Yes, I will. Good. I'm glad that this piqued your interest on certain crystals, and I should get Twitter. Oh, that scares me. Oh my god, I feel like I have enough social media already. But all right, guys. So if you have no other questions, I will definitely get that list out for you guys tonight as soon as we're done. So I just want to thank you guys for your participation and all of your questions. I was really looking forward to this, and I think we had a great turnout. So, all right, if you guys don't have any other questions, then I will, I'll go back through the comments and see if there's anything that I missed. Okay, and if not, then I'll talk to you guys next time. All right, thank you guys so much. All right, have a great night.